Oh, Canada. I gotta tell you, you know what? Taking a look at the current party that's leading this country and they decided to throw together a debate. I mean, back in the 70s and 80s, there were shows they used to call the Gong Show. And it seems like these future party leaders, one of them, I don't know, I got to tell you, it's pretty interesting. I mean, you take a look at these misfits and you sit there and say to yourself, okay, so who's really going to represent Canada, be the next leader of the Liberal Party, and then, of course, is going to get instilled to be the Prime Minister of Canada without any votes to be Prime Minister? Well, you know what? You've got Karina Gould. Okay, she's out of Burlington, and, really nothing to say there. You got Mark Carney. I mean, he's been on a wrecking mission for Canada, for Britain. I mean, you know what? This guy is definitely not somebody that we want to have instilled to lead the country. Chrystia Freeland, I get it. You don't want to even hear her voice again because it's like chalk, your nails on a chalkboard. It's brutal and nothing comes out of her mouth that is true. I mean, it's almost like she's always living a fairy tale. And then we've got Frank Baylis. Who's Frank Baylis? I mean, it's like, where's Waldo? Like, quite frankly, like you take a look at these, candidates and it's like, this is the best the Liberal Party has to offer, So for us, it's one of those things that, taking apart what is going to, no matter what, be instilled, even if it's a short term, Prime Minister in Canada, we've got to keep our eyes wide open. But of course, it wouldn't be, a debate without, I don't know, our favorite person running off in the mouth. Let's take a look.
A few weeks ago in Saskatoon, I met a little 4-year-old girl. She asked me whether I could prevent Trump from invading our country. And that's why I am standing to lead the Liberal Party and to become the next Prime Minister of Canada.
All righty. Yes, because all 4-year-olds right now are running up to, the ex, Deputy Prime Minister of Canada saying, oh, do you think you can stop Trump from coming here? I mean, literally, this sounds like the same tale as, oh, I don't know, Chrystia, Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, Tooth Fairy. I mean, come on. If you're going to tell us a fairy tale, why not, put something behind it? Like the fact that you sit there and still believe that you can take on President Donald Trump. I mean, that is a fairy tale. That's a bestseller for sure, okay? You're using your imagination. And that's part of the thing that when you were the finance minister, you used imagination for sure, because you sure as hell didn't use a calculator. So are these the candidates that are going to be best served to lead our country? Definitely not. And you know what? Make sure you comment on this kind of stuff because I want to hear what people have to say, especially after taking a look at that leadership debate. I mean, it's embarrassing. Like, I agree, Prime Minister Trudeau has embarrassed Canada right across the world stage. And, today, as we take a look at what's really coming down the pipe, Canada and the U.S., are still at, odds. And one of the biggest things is the fact that, Trump, of course, President Trump has decided to say, well, you know what? I gave you enough reprieve. We're going to be on time for the March 4th deadline with tariffs. Yeah, I'm not sure what he's got against Tuesdays. It just seems like Tuesday is the day that he always likes to have a tariff come in. But in the same breath, he's saying Mexico and Canada. He didn't just single out Canada. He didn't say that we didn't do our job, which we haven't really, I'm sure, with the borders. But the truth is that he has decided to, say that he's going to invoke the tariffs. So what's going to happen? Well, everybody's going to sit there and do that mass hysteria, and then Canada's going to go dollar for dollar. When you go dollar for tariffs, all you're doing is you're punishing Canadians even further. I get it. You think you're punishing the U.S. by charging them tariffs on what they import to Canada. But who really feels the pain? It's Canadians. Okay, and that's one of the things that I think that most people need to understand about tariffs. When we charge tariffs on U.S. goods coming into Canada, it affects Canadians more. And that's the thing. We're the smaller economy with more dependence on the US. So I get it. Do I like the idea of tariffs? Not a chance. But am I concerned more about how we react and who's actually going to stage the reaction? Because, you know, what's his name? The guy that's missing in action. Oh, yeah, him. Okay. So Trudeau here has been, running around the world, even giving more Canadian taxpayer dollars. And in fact, he's inciting the war more with Ukraine, turning around saying, Canada is going to give you so many military vehicles. Last time I checked, I think he's given away half our military force. So, hey, why not just get rid of the rest of it? But ultimately, in the end, offering $5 billion in aid of Canadian dollars, let's be clear, that's taxpayer dollars. And then he turns around and says, no, that's money we captured from Russia 3 years ago. So where's the interest going to the Canadian people? I mean, literally, you sit there and you say you captured this money from the Russians and now you're going to give some of it to Ukraine. Again, this is just probably one of the worst gaslighting, narcissistic leaders the world has ever seen, period, bar none. And yet we are now still at the mercy of somebody that's saying, I'm stepping down leadership race, not going to be prime minister, going to go hang out on the beach. And what? Let's give some more Canadian taxpayer dollars away. I know you want to sit there and say it's Russia, but he's still giving taxpayer dollars away because even if it's military equipment or 1 million rounds of ammunition, that's taxpayer dollars. This guy has no problem spending our money with no rhyme or reason. And again, when we take a look at the big picture here in Canada, I am so disappointed in the politicians and our political atmosphere. You know what? Yes, we have to stand up for ourselves. Yes, we have to make ourselves independent. But more importantly, now, with what we are facing in the future here in Canada, I'm going to tell you, now we got to protect our Canadian neighbors, our hardworking, tax-paying Canadians, our family, our friends, the next generation, more than we ever have before. And you know what? I'd love to hear your comments on this. Make sure you let me know what you think. And thanks for tuning in. I'm Todd C. Slater. By the way, if you like what you see here, we take it one step further with our real estate seminar webinar. We've got one coming up on Saturday, March the 29th at 11 a.m. And you know what? Love to have you join me. You can go to thesimpleinvestor.com to register. And one of the most important things is just pure education. We love talking about real estate. Yeah, we throw in a little bit of politics into it, but I'd love to have you join us. So that's coming up. That's right. Saturday, March 29th at 11 a.m. I'll see you then.